I'm Linda Leclerc, an ex-serious, stressed-out manager, and what I'm doing now is changing lives, helping people to be less stressed, to be in a good mood, to feel better, in short, to be the best version of themselves. And my goal is to offer tips, to share tools, to inspire, so you too can be the best version of yourself. That's my mission. Welcome in the Joy Element, the feel-good podcast that inspires. Today's episode is brought to you by Morale Boost. 3 days, 3 tips, 3 minutes of intentional laughter, and it's completely free. Get it on yogadurir.com/ENG. Meet my friend Marisa Ferrera, expert in adult family relationships. She's a warm and caring human being, and I was so happy she accepted my invitation for this episode. She inspired me, and I hope that she will inspire you as well. Enjoy! Oh la la. So today I'm with Marisa Ferrera. Do I pronounce it right?
That's correct. Marisa Ferrera. Very good.
And Marisa and I, we met, when was that? It was a good 7 years ago, was it?
It's been a while through the 1 Million Meditators movement.
Was it there?
I think so.
I thought it was through a video challenge that we did.
Oh, maybe you're right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That was a long time ago.
I know.
You're right.
I know. And then we stayed connected through
Yes.
Anita and the 1 Million Meditators movement.
Yes.
And yeah, so I kind of learned about your line of work through the video challenge because we had to talk about what we did and
Right.
what we liked and loved and many topics. And I would call you an expert in relationships, setting boundaries,
Yes.
feeling respectful for yourself. How would you describe your work?
Yeah, that's very good. I focus mostly on adult family relationships because what I found when I was focusing on all relationships in the past, it all boiled down to the family relationships, which impacted all the other relationships, including the relationship we have with ourselves. And so I started to pinpoint, really dive deeper into taking a look at family dynamics. And like you said, learning how to create boundaries and really learning how to deal with conflict in ways that creates deeper connections instead of ripping people apart, which is it is possible. It is possible. Yeah. So yeah.
And now you live in somewhere like right now when we record this, I was telling Marisa that it's kind of cold here where I am, but it's not where you are.
No, I'm in Colombia, South America. And so it's beautiful here 12 months of the year. I mean, it gets a little bit cooler at times, but it's beautiful. That's why we're here.
And I kind of am envious of the beautiful labyrinth. It's something that you do with your fingers. She has that. You can't see it, but it's gorgeous. It looks like a ceramic plate.
It is. It's actually a friend of mine, an artist friend of mine who lives out in California. She makes these labyrinths. And so I ordered one for myself because I thought, why not? It's really beautiful. And it is a finger labyrinth. Yes.
Yeah, that's perfect because it helps you to just you focus when you do that. I did that on a piece of paper one time. Okay, I'll say it. One time.
Yes.
Yeah. So I remember the feeling. So Marisa, welcome to the Joy Element.
Well, thank you for inviting me to join you here. I've been looking forward to it.
And it's funny because she has no idea of what I'm going to ask her, which is perfect because I always saw you as a very poised and calm and settled type of person. Like I never saw you or I've never seen you being like, whoa, like I can be sometimes, but I'm sure that
I can go there too. I can go there too. I think we all can. And not as much now as in the past. I used to really, there were things that would overwhelm me and make me go a little crazy in the past. But I've been doing a lot of work on just being more mindful and taking more time to meditate every morning. And that's really helped me to really be more calm, regardless of the chaos around me at times.
So that was my question. What do you do when you're experiencing stress and those days where you're overwhelmed by everything? And so what do you do to calm down and just to cope with your stress?
Well, that's a great question. And one of the things I do is listen to some frequency meditations. I like that. And sometimes guided meditations. And many times, because I do live in Colombia and we have a really beautiful view from our terrace of the Andes Mountains and lots of nature, I find it helpful to just stop whatever I'm doing if I'm starting to feel like I'm going, through that overwhelm and not feeling very productive or not feeling good. And just sitting outside and just looking at the view is just something that brings me back to peace and joy so quickly, because it's so spectacular. I never get tired of this view. We've been living in this home for 7 years, and it's like a brand new day every day. It's beautiful.
Wow, you still see it?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm from a family of farmers, and I remember one particular farm where my uncle used to live, and the view was spectacular there. And every time that I visited them, I was always in awe with the,
Mm-hmm.
it's so gorgeous, it's so beautiful. And I remember one day I was just admiring the view, and my uncle said, "Well, you see, we don't see it anymore because
Oh,
we're working on that field.
right.
We've been working in that field for so many years, and it's hard work, so I don't see it anymore." And I thought, oh, that's so sad, because
Mm-hmm.
you have
Mm-hmm.
a wonderful, magnificent view on life
Mm-hmm.
here.
Mm-hmm. I never want to take it for granted. I mean, there's some days when I just walk outside and I don't know, I just feel so much gratitude that I literally just spontaneously will throw my arms up in the air and just say, I love my life. Thank you so much for having such an amazing life, or for my guides or whoever guiding me to this place, because you just don't know, right? You put out there what you want to create in your life, and we just couldn't have picked a better spot. I mean, when we found this lot, we didn't know it would actually look like this when we found it because it was not developed yet. And we
Ah,
picked the absolutely perfect place. It's just incredible.
great. So that means that when you're experiencing stress, you
Mm-hmm.
just press pause, you listen to
Yes.
meditations, you meditate
Mm-hmm.
yourself, you look at
Mm-hmm.
your view, you go outside, and you just feel the gratitude of
Mm-hmm.
the magnificent moment.
Absolutely. And gratitude is really a big part of it, because that really helps me anytime that I'm in a funk. If I start to notice myself spiraling down, I mean, we all go into those places, right? But it's so easy once you latch onto a negative thought or feeling, more just start popping up, and it's easy to just go right into the pit, I call it, right? So the one way that I help myself is I really start looking at all the things I'm grateful for, not just living in this beautiful country, but also my health, the health of my family and friends, the relationship I have with my husband. I mean, I just start focusing on all these amazing things in my life, and I can't stay in that muck for very long when I start doing that.
Mm, that's funny, because that was my second question for you. What do
Oh,
you do when you're feeling a bit sad or blue in the morning or whatever in the
yeah,
day? And what do you do
yeah.
to cheer yourself up? So that's exactly, you answered without the question.
Without the question. There's another thing I do too sometimes, which is really funny. I'll just ask my husband if he wants to play a game. We love playing Rummy Cube together, or Rummy Cube. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. And so even if it's the middle of the day, I give myself permission. If I'm just feeling like in a funk, I'm not feeling very inspired to be doing whatever it is I'm working on my computer, I'll just turn to him and say, hey, do you want to play a game? And it could be the middle of the afternoon. And that just changes my energy too and lifts my spirit. We'll just, make a cup of tea and sit down and play for an hour, and then I'm back in the groove.
Ah, that's good. So it's
Yeah.
like you step back, or you
Yeah.
just, what's the word? Tu fais un pas de côté. So yeah, you step aside of what you're
Mm-hmm.
doing. You do something else. You change
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
train of thoughts, and then you play. The play part
Mm-hmm.
is very important.
It is. It is. And I don't want to be working on anything with my business when I'm not in a really positive
Mm,
state, because I don't want that energy in anything I'm doing. Like if I'm working on a new course or something, or even if it's an email or Facebook or a blog post, whatever it is, if I'm not feeling that joy and peace and inspiration, I don't want to do it because I have to. And I don't want to
mm,
go into that state of, well, I really should or have to write that thing and I should put it out by tomorrow. And I've just been doing my best lately to just be really mindful of not putting these external demands on myself and external deadlines. Because I used to do that a lot. And then I had so much stress because I wasn't meeting the deadlines. And then, one day I thought, why am I doing this? Like, I don't have a boss. Like, why am I doing this to myself? It's like, nobody said this has to be done by tomorrow. So lighten up, let it go. And just, I want to be in the flow when I'm working on anything to do with my business. So that energy is what people are going to feel when they find me on Facebook or website or whatever. I want them to feel that energy instead of negativity, if that makes any sense.
Well, I think I needed to hear that today because I was told exactly something similar to that yesterday by someone. Because when it happens to me that I'm feeling like,
Yeah.
I don't want to work on, like, I can't. It's just
Yeah.
not working. I'm pushing, I'm trying, and then it's like, give up. And I
Mhm.
do something where I don't need to think, like translate something,
Right.
and then simply feeling like I was able to finish that translation today makes me feel happier. And then I can
Yes.
go back to working on the thing that I was supposed to be doing at that time. But while you're feeling in that,
Uh-huh.
you stay away from what's important, like in your business. Like, you don't want to create something because it feels like you're going to imprint that that not so good energy, the vibration
Exactly.
in there. So
Exactly. Exactly. And that's one of the beauties of, being an entrepreneur and not having a boss
mm,
is being able to do that. But at the same time, we have to give ourselves permission to do that. And I didn't before because I had that voice saying, well, if you're really serious about your business, you're going to work hard, right? You're going to work when you don't feel like it. It's all these things that we've been programmed into believing as truth. And I'm starting to realize more and more that that's exactly what it's been, is all this programming, which doesn't serve us.
no.
What's the point of continuing like paddling uphill or paddling against the river, against the current, whatever,
So
and
I got
struggling? Like, why struggle? Like, I guess one of the mottos I'm starting to adopt too is struggle is optional. We don't have to choose struggle. So when we're feeling it, how can we shift our state? What is something that we could put our attention on, whether it's going for a walk or looking at a beautiful view or listening to music that you enjoy or meditating, anything that lifts your spirit. And sometimes you only need it for 5 or 10 minutes, and then you're back in the flow. And I'm actually much more productive after that than if I try to push myself, and then I'm getting nothing done. I'm reading the same sentence over 15 times because I'm not actually there. I'm not present. I'm just trying to make something happen, and it's just not the right time. So by taking that pause and walking away and doing something completely unrelated, and that's fun, that's joyful, it just shifts everything and makes it so much easier when you do go back, like you said, and then you're just in the groove and everything flows.
Yeah. And plus, you're your own boss, so you can give
Exactly.
yourself a day off, or you can give yourself an
Exactly.
hour off and say, well, okay, so right now do something else. And it's like
Mhm.
nobody else but you is going to complain.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's very wise. Very wise. And what would you say? Oh, I have a feeling that I kind of have a feeling of your answer to this, but what would you say is the thing that you do, or the place where you are, or whatever circumstance, that when you're in that circumstance or place or whatever, you're in a total state of joy?
A total state of joy. Well, I did say, a couple of things that I do, but one of the other ones is just going in our hot tub at night. I'm just in bliss. We have a hot tub, and again at night it's so beautiful because we are overlooking the Andes Mountains, and so you can see all the lights from the valley because we're up
Mm.
in the mountain, right? And so even just soaking in the hot tub, I'm just like, again, just filled with so much joy and gratitude. I love that. And we also go for walks up our mountain, my husband and I, and that fills me with a lot of joy too. Just being in nature and just walking together. And sometimes we walk in silence. It's almost like a walking meditation. And other times we chat, just depends. But yeah, I love that. I love reading. That brings me a lot of joy too. Just being,
When
having a cup of coffee and reading.
Mm. So in your hot tub, don't you have mosquitoes where you are?
No, that's one of the beauties. Can you
Okay,
believe
so I
it?
need to
Oh my
visit you.
gosh. That when I said that we picked a perfect place or we were guided to a perfect place, it's not all of Colombia that's like this. We have friends that live in another part of not maybe an hour away, but a different area. And there's so many microclimates here. They have mosquitoes. Here we have our windows wide open all the time. We have sliding glass doors in our living room that go like basically an open wall for during the day. And we have a joke. We say if you find a mosquito in our house, it's probably lost because there just aren't. We don't get mosquitoes. It's unbelievable.
Okay,
It's
so
so amazing.
my husband would tell me,
Yeah.
like, don't invite Linda because you're going to get mosquitoes in the house because they are going to find her because I am
No,
a magnet for mosquitoes.
not here. Not this house. Maybe somebody else's house here, but not ours. The
Okay, so
rare.
I'm there next week.
Okay, hey, there you go. My sister's coming down for the first time in January, so I'm looking forward to her coming and experiencing it.
Oh, thank you
Yeah.
so very much, Maria. Oh, yeah, Marisa. Thank you so very much, Marisa. I don't
You're
know why I was
welcome.
calling you Maria. It's like my brain just was uh my brain just went on a break. So thank you
That's
so
okay.
very much, Marisa. It was really, really a very nice conversation I have with you this morning, and all this is very, very wise, and it's it's beautiful to hear someone appreciate their life as much as you appreciate yours. And the
Mm,
gratefulness, sometimes it's like we can't even be, I was going to say envious,
mhm,
because like we all deserve it. So
mhm,
it's
mhm,
just like in the things that we have to see in our lives that there lies the appreciation and gratitude
mhm,
and joy.
mhm. Exactly. Exactly.
Thank you so very much, dear.
Oh, you're welcome. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for listening. If you'd like to know more about our programs, services, retreats, trainings, and all sorts of tools to bring more laughter and joy in your life, visit us at www.yogadurir.com. And for the women's laughing, at hahasisterhood.com. Until next time, keep smiling and laughing.